Good morning, Garden of England. Oh my goodness, it could be so much warmer today. I missed a trick by not coming out with gloves, so we'll see how we get on holding up this phone. Look, Stella, no treats this morning. On you go. So this is going to be a really important one. Each of us, I particularly, but if you've already watched either of these two interviews already with Kathleen, we've had the privilege of engaging with her. She's extraordinary, and if you know about how that came about, well, first of all, Kathleen, when I approached her and asked her if she'd be up for an interview, she was a bit an enthusiast for watching those previous interviews I did, especially during the COVID year. You remember those Wednesday nights live on Facebook and all those amazing interviews with those amazing people, and each of them was just a single interview. And so I expected that, and she probably expected that to be the case with her. But as you probably know, if you've been watching this for weeks and months now, is that there was endless disruption, there was endless, if you like, sabotage. The technology not working, recordings not happening. It was as if something was blocking us, but really, I suppose, being positive about it, the source just wasn't happy with the idea of having one. What she had to offer was much more. In fact, as I've said, it's kind of like a mini Mindstore course, an opportunity for you and I to reflect on the power of what we have here, as she shares her stories, as she shares her journey using Mindstore. And I wait to get to the third one. But one of the things that she talks about in the second one, or what's implied is that you and I, our stories have still to be written. Our books are not over. But what's really important for you to realise is that neither is your family, your friends, your loved ones, especially with your kids and so on, your grandchildren. Their lives are ahead of them. They're still to be written. And what are they going to write? How are they going to cope if they don't have tools and techniques like these? And as I've said repeatedly, these techniques that we have, these versions, she's barking. Stella, no, on you go. These tools and techniques we have, I'm going to say this, they're probably the best on the planet. They just are. They work, they only work. Now I'm going down this morning. I'm going to spend a day in the studio with the help of Big Ed Peppett. Some of you'll know Ed, I've interviewed him in the past, and hopefully again. I'm going to be in the studio with him as I record this new introductory course kind of thing, so that you can have the confidence to share it with family, loved ones, friends and colleagues, so they can begin to get into this stuff. And it won't just be a simple sort of wind them up process, but actually I'm going to give them tools and techniques. I'm going to give them that. But in order for you to build a desire for them, because although obviously you'll be inspired to watch it, I guess, especially if you're watching these, but it's not for you, it's for them. And so by sharing, I know I keep going on about this, it's nothing to do with me and nothing to do with Kathleen. By sharing Kathleen's interviews, you're going to build desire. Surely someone watching the first one's going to think, wow, what is it? What are these techniques? And then you get into the second one, oh my goodness. But wait till you get to the third. And what if by sharing them you build that desire? Build a desire for, at the start of next month, as I say, yesterday, 2nd of December, we start a 4-week goal setting process that you can engage them in, with the confidence of knowing that by the time they get to the end of that process and enter into January, that course will be available for them. So they can begin to learn the tools and techniques to make sure, along with your support and encouragement, that they can absolutely maximise the outcomes of 2025. And it's such a privilege. for us to have the opportunity to learn and be inspired by Kathleen. But it would be amazing if you would get out of whatever comfort zone challenge you've got with risking yourself to share them. I've shared them, family and friends, and the feedback's been brilliant. People just really inspired by them. So that's building the desire for more. And I'm going to provide that, but I need your help as I go down and start that process. One of the things over the years I'd be invited, especially when I was still living in Glasgow, I would be invited to go to different parts of Glasgow where I used to work, social worker, and maybe do a free afternoon or a free hour, or, you know, offer my services kind of thing. But one of the things I learned very early on is if you give these tools and techniques for nothing, people don't use them because they don't own them. And there's something that it kind of sabotages them because there's not the sense of ownership at some level of consciousness. And so what I need your help with is, I don't know yet how long the course is going to be. I've got ideas, of course. You know what I'm like. I never use notes. I've never used notes in courses. I've got a sort of little storyboard thing that I'll occasionally check. As you know, it just all comes off the top of my head. And that's what's going to happen today. I have a rough idea what I'm going to cover, but I'll trust the source, and it'll all come out the way it needs to come out. So I don't know whether they're going to get 3 hours, 4 hours, more, less. Certainly interactive stuff, because it'll be an online program. We'll use a good platform. But what would be helpful is for you to think about, how much do you think we can charge your family, friends, loved ones, colleagues, your children, your grandchildren, so that they actually value it, but not to the point where it's too expensive for them, or they think, oh, that's a wee bit of money I'd rather use, and I don't know, depending on what they're doing. But, excuse me. Oh my goodness, the cold air. So I'll let you to think about that. See if you can help me with that. I was thinking a £5, but then maybe that's too cheap. Maybe it's too much for some people. But have a wee think about that. Maybe you can respond. Maybe wait until you actually see it, and then you can give me the ideas before I go and publish it come the start of the year. Bye now. Bye bye.